welcome on into another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry. Looks like I'll be going solo today, which is totally fine. Big slate on this Thursday of hockey games, and I like a lot. I spent a lot of time deep diving into player props, so I have quite a bit of player props for today, which I will give out. I'm just pulling up my bets here. We'll jump right into it, get into the very first game, which is the New York Rangers and the Tampa Bay Lightning. You can find New York anywhere from plus 114 to plus 120. Tampa Bay minus 133 to minus 140. Sixes right across the board in this one here. When it comes to the side, I don't really have too much of an opinion. I like the price of Tampa at home, but most likely it will be Brian Elliott and net, which I don't like so much. The one thing I did get involved in this game, though, is Victor Hedman from Tampa Bay to get an assist. He has assists, at least one assist, in 7 of his last 9 games. So he has been passing the puck to players who then score, which is what an assist is. So he's been getting a lot of them. I think it's a good spot here, even against Igor Shesterkin, who should be a net for the Rangers. I like Victor Hedman to get an assist in the first game. Isaac says Lightning minus 1.5. Yeah, I can't get to a side in this one, but because I'm on Hedman to get an assist, I hope. There's lots of Tampa Bay goals, so best of luck there for you. We'll jump into the second game, which is one of my favorite games of the night. I have a lot of money invested in this game compared to the other games. Detroit Red Wings plus 140 to plus 148. Buffalo minus 161 to minus 177. 6.5s right across the board. And this one, Buffalo's had quite a few days off. So that's the one little thing there. Let's see here. I don't have it written down. I think they have 4 or 5 days off here. Detroit obviously played yesterday, and they were down to Pittsburgh 4-0. Ended up coming back and winning in overtime 5-4. Big comeback for the Red Wings. Now they got to play the next night in Buffalo against the Sabres. Detroit 2-4-2 in their last 8 games. Buffalo went into the break 6-1-1 in their last 8. They've already beat Detroit twice, 5-4 in Detroit and 8-3 in Buffalo earlier this year. For me, it's the Sabres. It's the Sabres here. I'm going back to Sabres on the puck line for plus 160. I'm on over 6.5, minus 120. I'm on Tage Thompson to score, plus 110. And I'm on Jeff Skinner to score, plus 140. Skinner has goals in 8 of his last 11 games. He has a point in 10 of his last 11. Tage Thompson has a goal in 8 of his last 11 games, 2 or more points in 7 of his last 11. So when you're looking at the Sabres, it's Skinner and Thompson are their main guys there. So those are the ones I'm looking at, or those are the ones I bet are Skinner and Tage Thompson. New York Rangers were flat versus Washington. Yes. I'm assuming we will get a better performance from the tonight, but you never know. Never know. Isaac says Detroit Red Wings money line. Had they lost 4-0 yesterday, then I would have considered possibly the Red Wings. But having to come back from being down 4-0 to win 5-4 in overtime, I think that takes a lot of energy off Christmas break, where you're eating a lot and sitting around a lot and maybe even drinking a lot. These players got to play a back-to-back. It's not easy, that's for sure. Jake says can't back Ned. I have not seen confirmed goaltenders yet. Obviously, I was hoping for Nedeljkovic, but he's actually probable. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen will be a net for the Sabres. because it was Husso, and then Husso got pulled, and then they put in Hellberg. Who knows what the Sabres are going to do in the goaltending department? Who knows what Detroit's going to do in the goaltending department? I would love Nedeljkovic. That would be awesome, but we'll have to see what happens. And then the reason why I went with the over there, Detroit's gone over in their last 4 games. Both meetings this year have gone over 8.5, so 6.5 is a low number when these two teams have been flying over the total this year. I'll get to the comments. Buffalo over 5.5. Buffalo money line and the over 5.5 plus 130. Hey, I want to talk you off that whatsoever. That's a great price because I'm a Buffalo puck line and the over 6.5. So best of luck. Thanks for smashing the like, Richie. Much appreciated as always. You're always here smashing the like. Hellberg will give the Sabres hell if he's confirmed. We'll see. Sabres are the number 1 offense in the NHL still. I'm kind of waiting for that to come down, but it hasn't. So they're the best offense in the league. Now we'll talk about Montreal and the team that had the best offense last year, the Florida Panthers. You can get Montreal plus 270 to plus 295. Florida minus 300 to minus 365. 6.5s right across the board. This is a complete pass for me. Complete pass. Florida minus 300 right now. This Florida team has taken a step backwards this year. And it's kind of interesting because Florida and Calgary obviously hooked up with that big Matthew Tkachuk trade. But it seems to have hurt both teams this year. Both teams have kind of taken a step back so far, especially the Florida Panthers. I'm not backing Florida at minus 300. To take them on the puck line would be minus 135 to minus 150. No thanks. I'm not taking Montreal either. I don't like the spot for them. So that game is a pass. Plenty of good games on the slate today. Nothing wrong with passing on one of them. Going on along to Ottawa and Washington. Ottawa plus 145 to plus 155. Washington minus 167 to minus 179. 6s right across the board in this one. I have one player prop in this one, Evgeny Kuznetsov, to get an assist, over half an assist at minus 110. He has an assist in 9 of his last 12 games, and that's what he's been doing, is passing the puck to guys who score. So a lot of people look into goal props. I look into goal props, assist props, everything. You have to look into everything. Well, you don't have to, but assists are easier to get. Obviously, most of the time there's 2 assists on 1 goal. So assists are easier to get, especially players like Hedman and Kuznetsov. That's all they've really been doing lately is getting assists. So I like the assists here. Sidewise, Washington has been the hotter team. Ottawa just gave Boston a really good Cam Talbot. Give him credit. Had a phenomenal game against Boston. And Washington's hot, but I can't really get involved, or I haven't got involved in a side play. It would be Washington or nothing for me, but you'd have to parlay that or take them in regulation in some form. Do the Canadians have injuries or no? I'm not 100% up on their injury list, but Caulfield and Suzuki, I looked at both of them to possibly get involved in player points. Neither of them have done anything in their last 5 games. I think Suzuki had an assist or something, but they haven't been performing well lately. And if Caulfield and Suzuki aren't performing well, Montreal's in trouble because that's the heart of their offense, those 2 guys. Capitals minus 1.5. Yeah, I would like that as well. Should look into props if, when, and available. Yes. Eric Gustafsson and Marcus Johansson playing well. Yeah, they're getting depth guys to step up. For sure. My stupid book only offers what they want when they want. Yeah, sadly, some books are Dumb. Some don't do player props at all. Some will do it for like one game. It's frustrating. I get it. We'll move on to the next game here. Another one that I'm passing on. We have the Columbus Blue Jackets plus 195 to plus 215. The Islanders minus 230 to minus 260. 6.5s right across the board in this one. If there was ever a team that I would trust the Islanders to win by 2 against, it would be this Columbus Blue Jackets team, which is a total mess. They're just a total mess. Definitely, I won't be surprised if Columbus is the one that wins the draft lottery and gets to pick first overall. It's not necessarily always the bottom team. Most of the time it isn't. So Chicago, who's tanking, Anaheim, who's tanking. Columbus has been riddled by injuries, but signing Johnny Gaudreau in the offseason obviously was not a sign that they were tanking, but it's just how things have gone for them. But with this game specifically, if there was ever a time I was going to trust the Islanders to win by 2, it would be in this spot. However, goaltending has not been confirmed that I last saw, but Korpisalo will be a net for Columbus, but there's talk that it could be old man Corey Schneider in net for the Islanders. No thanks. If I'm backing the Islanders on the puck line, not doing that with Corey Schneider in net. So that game is a complete pass for me. Not in a state that's legal yet. Shake my head. Yeah, I guess you're in the same boat with Nick and Tim. Well, Richie, move to Canada. Come move up here. Any book you want, if you're able to, obviously. But man, LO, I'm shaking on this game, overthinking it. But I guess Isles puck line. Hey, if Sorokin is confirmed, and you trust him, obviously he's played better lately, his last couple games. Then I want to talk you off the Isles puck line, but with Corey Schneider possibly in net, that's a no for me. They play New York Islanders first period and New York Islanders to win in regulation plus 475. Which books do you get these at, Jason? Is it FanDuel? I think FanDuel does something like this, but I don't really see these kind of props out there that much, but definitely you can get a lot of value in them by taking teams in the first period and full game. And that's plus 175. Oh, okay. I was going to say plus 475. That's pretty big. But we'll move on to the next game. Typo. Yeah, no worries. I guess wait until confirmation. I would because there's a bit. Corey Schneider could definitely come. It is Columbus the way they're playing this year. Corey Schneider could come and pitch a shutout. It's possible, but I would have to wait before seeing that. The next game, Vancouver plus 122 to plus 134. Winnipeg minus 137 to minus 162. 6.5s right across the board in this one. I see money's coming in on Vancouver, and I completely understand why. I got Vancouver plus 140 last night in this one. Obviously, I did not watch the third period, actually, of the Minnesota and Winnipeg game, but I watched the first 2 periods. It's been a while. It's the first time in a while I haven't watched a full Wild game, but Winnipeg looked awful in the first 2 periods. Minnesota looked like Christmas break didn't even happen. They just picked up right where they left off, bouncing back from a disappointing San Jose loss. They played a great road game against Winnipeg. Winnipeg looked awful. Vancouver's been winning lately, even with Spencer Martin, and it will be Colin Delia in net today, who is, I believe, 3-0 with a 2-point-something goals against average, 2.05 or something like that, 2.15. Let me get it up here. Okay, so he's not confirmed on this site. But I saw there he was confirmed somewhere. But Delia has actually been good for Vancouver. Vancouver playing well, winning in their last, they're 7-3 in their last 10. In their last 3 wins, they've scored 5+ in all 3. They're scoring goals. Winnipeg 1-4 in their last 5, not playing well. Honestly, this game looks like it's priced by somebody just looking at the standings and seeing Winnipeg is at home, seeing where they are in the standings, seeing where Vancouver is in the standings, and just pricing the game that way. But you have to look at how these two teams are playing right now, because that matters. And Winnipeg's not playing well. Vancouver's playing great. So I'm taking Vancouver, the nice plus price, plus 140 last night. I would still take it. You can get it plus 130, plus 125. If you have to go below plus 125, you're starting to lose value for sure. But I think Vancouver's the right side here. I like them to win today. Isaac says pass. All right. Oops, I leaned under 6. You leaned under 6. Oh, okay. Stars, Terry. That's the next game out. We'll talk about it here in a second. And then Bruce, there it is. Yes, for tonight. He's getting results from the Canucks, and the Canucks are scoring. Oh, and back. Good thing for mentioning that. Player props. I split my bet between half a goal and half an assist for Bo Horvat. So Bo Horvat to score is plus 180. Bo Horvat to get an assist is plus 170. He's back-to-back games with 2 goals and 2 assists in each game. So back-to-back 4-point nights. I'm just going to kind of roll with that. Yes, Hellebuyck will be in net, but he's not untouchable. So I like Bo Horvat to score, Bo Horvat to get an assist, and the Canucks to win in that one. We'll go on to, obviously, the game that I will be watching tonight, which I'll bring up here. Dallas Stars plus 100 to plus 110. Minnesota Wild minus 118 to minus 125. Total 6s. I guess there is 1 5.5 available at Power Play in this one. And I said before the break that I would be looking to fade Minnesota coming out of the break with the tough opponents they have. Then they lost that game against San Jose. I did not like how that game went. And Winnipeg has been trending downwards, obviously losing 4 of their last 5. So I went against what I said, and I bet Minnesota in the last game. And Minnesota looked awesome in those first 2 periods that I watched against Winnipeg. Pretty much a complete game, complete 2 periods that I haven't seen from them in a long time. I was very impressed with how they bounced back against Winnipeg. Now they have Dallas, best team in the Central, 5-1-1 in their last 7 games, 21-9-6 on the year, 11-5-3 on the road. But Minnesota 11-3 in their last 14 games, 11-6-1 at home. Flowers in net, 1 goal in each of his last 3 games. Flower has allowed. He's 13-5-1 in 19 games against Dallas, with a 2.13 goals against, 927 save percentage. Flower has played very well against Dallas. Minnesota 7-2-1 in the last 10 home games against Dallas. They have had success against the Stars at home. I'm taking the Wild, minus 120 here at home against the Stars. If Dallas is going to lose a road game against a good team, it's going to be this Wild team who they've struggled against. So I have the Wild minus 120, and then I have Matt Zuccarello to score plus 205 at Bet365. He has a goal in 5 of his last 6 games, and he has a point in 12 of his last 13 games. Zuccarello is shooting the puck. He's obviously more of a playmaker for most of his career, and he does love to pass to Kaprizov. But lately he's been shooting the puck, and when that happens, it goes in. A lot of the time the defensemen are looking at Kaprizov, expecting the pass to Kaprizov, which leaves Zuccarello open. So he's been scoring plus 205, I think is a ridiculous price for a top-line player who has goals in 5 of his last 6 games. Give me Matt Zuccarello to score in this game. As many times as I've gone back and forth with this game, it has to end up in a draw. All right, I can see that. Ron Crawford, welcome on in. Thanks for coming in, Ron. Icex is thinking face. Just kidding. Stars money line. Hey, definitely a good look at the draw. Yes, I haven't looked exactly at the draw record between these two teams, but I don't really think there's been a whole lot of overtime, or I would have wrote it down. Wild owes me from stealing the Stars W last time. Hey, Wild are good on back to backs, minus that the game against the Sharks. But hey, they play the Stars well. Yes, IceX, Richie says, and Stars. Oh, so Jay Stone likes the draw and the Dallas Stars tonight. We will go on to the next game here, which is two of my biggest rivals in the NHL. Chicago Blackhawks plus 220 to plus 235. St. Louis Blues minus 250 to minus 280. Sixes right across the board in this one. St. Louis, obviously a streaky team. When they're good, they're good. When they're bad, they're bad. But I am not backing them at minus 250, minus 280. You'd have to take them on the puck line for minus 110 to minus 105. So you're not even getting a plus price with the puck line here. I can't trust. I know a lot of the Blues have been playing a bit better. It is Chicago. Look at how their games have gone. It will be Alex Stalock in net for Chicago here, and it'll be Bennington for the Blues. For me, player props. One guy I'm looking at in this game, Jordan Kyrou. In his last 6 games, he has at least 4 shots in every game. Some of the games, 5 or 6 shots. I got him over 3.5 shots, so to get 4, which he's done in 6 straight games, for minus 110. I'm looking for him to shoot the puck. And what happens when you shoot the puck? You score. He has 7 goals in his last 4 games, 4 straight goals with a game. So I'm also taking Jordan Kyrou to score, which I got a plus 175. So I'm looking for Kyrou to light up the Chicago Blackhawks in this game. But that is basically all I'm taking in that one. Is Kyrou. Minnesota tie first period, tie regulation, plus 800. That's interesting. Blackhawks money line. Hey, they are a National Hockey League team. They are going to win games eventually. Would I like to see them win this game against the Blues? I wouldn't mind it in the end, because every Blues loss is a game closer to missing the playoffs. So, and I don't want the Wild out to face the Blues in the playoffs. Blues puck line live, free money, says Jay Stone, who is a Blackhawks fan. So everybody can feel sorry for him. But actually, no. Think of 2012 to 2015. We don't have to feel sorry for him. Blues team total over for Brian. Yes, that's a spot I would look at in this game. Next up, I'm already back in the Vancouver Canucks. Do I have room on my card for one more dog? Are the dogs howling tonight in Arizona? Toronto minus 263 to minus 300. Sorry, minus 337. Arizona is plus 240 to plus 276. Sixes right across the board. In this one, I'm not taking Arizona money line in this game, but I wouldn't talk anybody off doing that, even at such a big plus price. They're 5-1-1 in their last 7 games against Toronto. For some reason, Arizona plays Toronto very well, and Arizona 6-3-2 at home. So 6 wins, 5 losses, overtime and regulation. The Coyotes have a winning record at home, which is pretty insane. They already beat Toronto this year. Toronto is by far the better team and should completely dominate this Coyotes team, but they haven't. We've seen this year. I had the least puck line against Philadelphia that afternoon game when they played at 2 in the afternoon. they won 4-3. They were not able to blow out a Philadelphia team. Toronto plays down to their competition sometimes. And this Arizona team, for whatever reason, has a jump when they play at home in their tiny little college arena, but they play well. So, yes, Toronto's a much better team, but for me, you're getting Arizona plus 1.5 at plus money. That is a little crazy. It's plus 110 now at Sports Interaction, which is just crazy. Like, this game could totally end where Arizona could possibly win this game, but if not, maybe they lose by 1. I could totally see that, and getting a plus price for a plus 1.5 is very rare. But obviously, odds makers loving the Leafs tonight, and we'll see what happens. But Arizona plus 1.5 for me. Jay Stone says, "LOL," most likely about the Blackhawks comments there, and Isaac says, "Man, ... I don't know, but we'll go on to. There's 3 more games left, and there's 2 more games left. I don't have any picks in them, but I'll break them down here before I get to my best bet. LA Kings and the Colorado Avalanche. LA plus 120 to plus 135. Colorado minus 138 to minus 158. 6s and 5.5s available in this one. I went against LA and I took Vegas the other night. That was a mistake. This Kings team is hot. And my first look at this game, I want to take the Kings at the plus 135 price. But Colorado's dominated LA for a long time, winning 9 of the last 10 game meetings. Colorado, despite injuries, has been playing well. Low-scoring games. I get why the total's at 5.5. So I'm just stuck in this game. I want to back the Kings, but I think Colorado wins this game, most likely by 1. So you'd have to look at Colorado money line anywhere from minus 138 to minus 155, not in my price range. So that ultimately makes the game a pass. I don't even want to put Colorado money line in a parlay because I want to bet the Kings. Sometimes previous history does really matter, and Colorado, I don't want to go against that streak with them. So it's ultimately a pass. Let's bring up the comment. Jason says Arizona first period and Toronto to win in regulation is plus 1,200. Hey, if you think Toronto wins in regulation, Arizona first period is that money line or puck line? Because there's a difference there too. I can see Arizona winning or losing by 1. That's why it's Toronto puck line. No, don't go against yourself, Richie. Take the Arizona. If Arizona wins or plus 1.5, take the plus 1.5. Avs no go for me. Yeah, I don't blame you. Avs 5-0 puck line covers his phase versus LA. Yeah, like I said, Avalanche have dominated LA. So that's why I can't back the Kings in this spot. But I won't be surprised if they go on and win again. They've been playing well. 3-way puck line, yeah. So that's first period plus 0.5 or minus 0.5. And then Richie says, LOL. And then we'll go to the final game of the night where we have Kakkonen will be a net. Urson. I'm going to make sure that is correct. Samuel Urson will be a net for Philadelphia. Obviously, he has a 6.33 ERA with an 8.33 save percentage in like one game, so that doesn't really looks really inflated. Kakkonen obviously 3.7-2 with a 3.83 goals against, 8.72 save percentage. Maybe an over in this one, but I'll bring up the odds here. You can find Philadelphia at plus 130 to plus 140. San Jose minus 152 to minus 165 in this one. 6.5s and 6s. Again, like I said, nothing in these final 2 games I can't back the Sharks at minus 160 favorites. Can't back Kakinen and net. But I can't back the Flyers. And Urson would be a lean with the over. But do I trust Philadelphia's offense to chip in enough? Do I trust both of these teams' offenses? And the answer is no, I don't. So that game is ultimately a pass. The final two games are a pass. I do have a player point parlay. So each of these players to get a point, which are all players that I have already bet singly. Victor Hedman to get a point. Jeff Skinner to get a point. Evgeny Kuznetsov to get a point. Bo Horvat to get a point. Matt Zuccarello to get a point. And Jordan Kyrou to get a point. Plus 12-14 for that 6-game parlay. Obviously for fun. Bet accordingly. But a little for fun parlay with my player props. I'll go here to the chat and then we'll get to best bets. Has to be the Sharks, right? Pass. And that's what you're doing as well. That's what I think is the right move. Urson over goalie save props. Yeah, you could look there as well. I don't think Tortorella would pull him, but you never know if he's really bad. Apparently, Torts wants to see what this kid has. So that's why he's getting the start. So I guess we'll see what he's got against the San Jose team. Best bets for today. Looking at the slate. I was not prepared for my best bet. I'm going to do it. Buffalo Sabres minus 1.5 plus 160. I've cashed 3 plus 160 type bets with the Sabres in the week before Christmas. I was on their money line for plus 160, I think, against Vegas, and then on their puck line twice for around this price, plus 160. Detroit on a second night of a back-to-back. Give me Sabres minus 1.5 plus 160. If you want to take them in regulation, which is also a plus price, but obviously a little bit safer, I guess. You could do that as well, but I like the Sabres minus 1.5. That is today's show. Best of luck to everybody on your bets tonight. We'll be back tomorrow for another episode. Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. Best of luck, guys.